Amari Williams learned the hard way that you don't want to disappoint Mark Pope. Was it the worst way to find out? Let's get to the Wildcats news. Kentucky basketball experienced a transformative 2024-25 season, marked by challenges, overcoming obstacles, and Pope's unmistakable leadership style. The Wildcats not only maintained the program's tradition of excellence, but also redefined the meaning of discipline and commitment on the field. And if anyone still doubted the coach's seriousness, the story told by now professional player Amari Williams is proof enough that Pope is not one to mess around, even if his friendly demeanor might suggest otherwise. Amari Williams was, without a doubt, one of the pillars of this team. The British center, coming off 4 solid seasons at Drexel, quickly adapted to the higher level required by the NCAA under Pope. His impressive averages of 10.9 points, 8.5 rebounds, 3.2 assists, and 1.2 blocks per game showed he was much more than just a dominant big man. He was a versatile player, capable of connecting offense and protecting defense with remarkable efficiency. His consistent presence in all 36 games of the season, despite the adversities the squad faced, including injuries that could have destabilized any team, was a reflection of his resilience and dedication. It was no coincidence that the Boston Celtics saw the potential in Williams to invest in him as a top pick in the NBA draft. But the road to this point wasn't paved solely with achievements and positive numbers. The disciplinary mentality imposed by Pope shaped not only Williams' technical performance, but also his attitude as an athlete. During a live stream on Twitch, Williams shared a revealing anecdote about how he discovered, the hard way, that Pope conducts his workouts with a precise blend of good humor and relentless rigor. The story, confirmed by former teammates like Brandon Garrison and Trent Noah, perfectly illustrates this peculiar balance. A seemingly trivial incident, a player arriving late by a few minutes, even before the official start of a meeting, ended up triggering a punishing marathon that left the entire group exhausted. 17 consecutive sets of sideline-to-sideline sprints, known as sets of 17, were imposed on the players. For those unfamiliar with the dynamics of these exercises, imagine repeatedly running from one end of the court to the other 17 times in a row, with minimal rest between each round. The physical intensity required to complete such a task is absurd, especially after an already grueling practice. Williams recalled how the situation began relatively casually. Pope had been joking about the alleged tardiness during the previous practice, joking about it. However, just when the group thought the incident had been forgotten, the coach surprised everyone by imposing the maximum penalty. Everyone was running in the first one because we thought it was one, Williams said, laughing as he relived the moment. But it soon became clear that this was more than just a lesson in punctuality. It was a practical demonstration of Pope's philosophy, where commitment to schedules and responsibilities is non-negotiable. Interestingly, Pope's own humanity also shined through on this occasion. Recognizing that the group was physically stretched and needed to board a flight for recruiting appointments, he reduced the number of sets from 17 to 11 or 12. This gesture, though small, reflects something important about the coach. He is firm, but never loses sight of the well-being of his athletes. This duality, the ability to impose strict limits while demonstrating empathy, has been a hallmark of his tenure at Kentucky. Williams' story serves as a microcosm of Pope's impact on the program. He not only delivered concrete results, such as the development of players like Williams toward the NBA, but also instilled a culture of hard work and mutual accountability. This may sound intimidating to some, but the fruits of this approach are evident. Kentucky finished the 2024-25 season with a resilient, adaptable, and competitive squad, even in the face of adverse circumstances. Furthermore, The experience gained by the players goes beyond statistics or trophies. Learning, sacrifice, and discipline are attributes that will accompany these athletes throughout their careers, whether in professional basketball or beyond. And this, more than anything, is the true legacy Mark Pope is building in Lexington. Athletic Director Mitch Barnhart's long-term vision quickly began to make sense as the 2024-25 season unfolded. Now, with Pope's second year in sight, influential voices within BBN, like Richie Farmer, a legendary member of the 1996 National Championship team, are raising expectations even higher. Some even dare to dream of a return to ultimate glory, the Final Four. Richie Farmer, whose perspective on college basketball is shaped by decades of experience on and off the court, admitted he initially questioned Pope's selection to lead the Wildcats. With big names like Scott Drew, Dan Hurley, Nate Oates, and Billy Donovan being widely rumored at the time, Pope's hiring seemed, to many, a surprising decision. However, as time passed and the dust settled, it became clear that Barnhart had made a calculated bet on a young, visionary coach deeply committed to building something special in Lexington. Farmer emphasized that Pope brought with him not only a respectable resume, but also an innovative and adaptive mindset. He praised Pope's ability to absorb valuable lessons from his previous experiences, both as a player and as a coach, and apply them creatively to the Wildcat style of play. The dynamic and engaging offense implemented by Pope was a game-changer, especially considering the talent available in the program. He takes pieces of what he's learned from different people he's played with and for over the years, Farmer noted. That makes him unique in his leadership. But Pope's uniqueness goes beyond the tactical chess on the court. His ability to connect with players and instill in them a deep understanding of what it means to wear the Kentucky blue and white uniform is perhaps his greatest strength. For Farmer, this connection is essential to the program's sustained success. Over the years, there have been times when the tradition and meaning of playing for the Wildcats seemed to be lost amid external pressures and the changing landscape of college basketball. Pope, however, seems to have recaptured that spirit. He seems to be able to motivate them and make them understand what it means to play at Kentucky, Farmer said, emphasizing the importance of the emotional connection between the athletes and the passionate BBN fans. These fans are the greatest in the world, the greatest fans of any sport in the world. When you play here, it's magical and it means something. This message resonates particularly well with high-profile recruits who arrive at Kentucky from different parts of the country, and even the world. Pope has demonstrated a remarkable ability to make these young athletes internalize the program's grandeur and feel part of something much bigger than themselves. With Pope's first year under him having been a resounding success, including the development of players like Amari Williams, Brea, and others who are now headed to the NBA, projections for 2025-26 are inevitably optimistic. Farmer, who has had access to inside information about the upcoming roster, didn't hesitate to express his enthusiasm. I always hesitate to say, we're going to win 40-0. We're going to win the national championship. He joked before revealing his realistic confidence. But with this team, I really think they have the potential to reach the Final Four. Farmer's comment isn't just idle speculation. The combination of experienced veterans and highly rated new talent suggests the Wildcats can field a balanced and competitive team capable of holding their own against the best in the country. Furthermore, Pope's offensive philosophy, which has proven effective at BYU and has now been adapted to Kentucky's higher level, offers a versatile arsenal that can surprise opponents in knockout tournaments. If there's one thing Pope's trajectory thus far demonstrates, it's that he not only understands the game, but also knows how to build winning cultures. His disciplined approach, coupled with his ability to inspire and motivate, creates an environment where players thrive both individually and collectively. This is crucial in a program like Kentucky, where expectations are always astronomical and the margin for error is minimal. As the 2025-26 season approaches, the Kentucky fan community has every reason to believe Pope is on track to lead the Wildcats back to the top. Let's keep going. Cutter Boley's speech comes at a time when Kentucky needs confidence more than statistics. The numbers don't hide the reality. 79th in scoring offense, 97th in yards per game, 120th in passing yards, and 124th in passing efficiency. But when the redshirt freshman, now the Wildcats' first QB, states that the offense is very close to finding a turning point, the message goes beyond charts and rankings. He speaks of an internal feeling, the perception that the pieces are on the board, even if they haven't completely fallen into place yet. Mark Stoops, who knows the demands of the SEC well, has been full of praise for his young quarterback. More than talent, the coach highlights resilience, self-confidence, and the belief his teammates already have in Boley. These are intangible attributes, but they carry weight when the team goes through turmoil. In Lexington, the hope is that this combination of characteristics will translate into practical development on the field, not in months, but in weeks. The duel against Eastern Michigan, with 240 yards and 2 touchdown catches, showed the ceiling Boley can reach. The next trip, to face South Carolina, brought the harsh reality of the SEC, with constant pressure, quick reads, and costly mistakes. But instead of seeing the fluctuation as a definitive setback, Boley sees each snap as a learning experience. If I'm not more prepared than I was the previous game, I'm doing something wrong, he said. It's the mentality Stoops and Bush Hamden want to cultivate. Each game as a stepping stone, each mistake as a lesson. The quarterback's confidence isn't based solely on words. He describes plays where the offense was inches away from converting explosive plays, passes that slipped by on details, runs that nearly turned into long drives. The difference between frustration and success, in his view, isn't a chasm, it's a detail. This narrative, that Kentucky is close, has an important symbolic value. It keeps the locker room united and motivated, even in the face of external criticism and less than generous rankings like ESPN's, which placed the Wildcats quarterbacks last among all Power 4 programs. This belief isn't just his. Boley himself reinforces how the daily work environment fosters collective confidence. Everyone comes here striving to improve every day. No one is satisfied with their position. This is the key to transforming poor numbers into better results. The ability to keep working when the going gets tough, to believe that the sum of small daily adjustments will, at some point, translate to the field. Now comes the biggest test yet. Playing in Athens against Georgia isn't just about facing the 12th ranked team in the country. It's about facing a program accustomed to suffocating opponents. But it's also, paradoxically, the perfect opportunity to validate this narrative of growth. If Kentucky truly is one step away, as Boley believes, showing competitiveness on a stage this size could be a sign that words are beginning to become deeds. Boley's future in Lexington is still under construction, but what's already evident is the maturity of his words and the natural leadership of a young man undaunted by the weight of responsibility. Kentucky may not have an explosive offense right now, but it has a quarterback who believes a turnaround is only a matter of time. And in programs built on discipline and resilience, belief is always the first step. Share your opinion. It's important.